What exactly does a 9 mean on IELTS writing? What specifically can we do to get it for task achievement, vocabulary, grammar, and coherence and cohesion? My name is Jeff. I'm a former IELTS examiner of 3 years, and I'd like to share with you some of the things that I would look at when I was grading essays. Again, specifically, we'll be looking at task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammar. We'll be doing this by looking at an essay through a screen share. This is not my essay. This is an essay that I found and I believe could score somewhere around an 8 or a 9 for all of those different categories. Before we get into the essay, you can show your support for this concept by liking and subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at the essay. Hey everyone, we're taking a look at another task 2 for IELTS. This one related to children's leisure time, spending indoors and less time outdoors. We need to describe the problems and suggest at least one possible solution. Notice it says problems and solution just says one. So we need to identify at least 2 problems and give just one solution will be okay. We're going to be grading this using the same criteria as always: so task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammar. Let's start with task achievement. Again, making sure that we fully address the task. We have a fully developed position, fully extended ideas that have lots of support as well. We'll begin by taking a look at our introduction. Alright, televisions to online streaming. Okay, so we have some specific tools being used. Revolutionized, cool. This is kind of a general hook, but that's fine for here. Let's look at our thesis. This trend can lead to a sedentary lifestyle and obesity. Great, so we have 2 problems, the lifestyle and the obesity. And then it can be reversed with more parental supervision as the solution. Cool. So this is our thesis statement. This is what the whole essay will be arguing. And I think these points work for the prompt. I expect that your first body paragraph will talk about sedentary lifestyle, and the second paragraph about obesity. Okay. Or excuse me, we'll see sedentary lifestyle and obesity in the same paragraph, and then the next paragraph will be about parental supervision. Great. All right, so we start off with the topic sentence in our first body. So that's our topic sentence. Significant contributor becoming less active and gaining weight. Again, so we have our 2 points. I expect we'll start with the less active and then the gaining weight. And so let's see. Great. Yes, this is talking about being less active. Main idea. And then detail describing it and a little bit more information. Great. And this inactivity means that children are not burning enough calories on a daily basis. Okay. After that, we have our next main idea. Okay, so the bodies are not able to burn off as much. Cool. So that's our main idea. And then therefore leading to the obesity. Cool. Alright, so I think this paragraph has a pretty standard structure. Topic sentence, introducing what the whole paragraph is going to discuss. Less active came first, so this whole paragraph will be about this whole section, this main idea, less active. The detail, less active. Next main idea, talking about gaining weight. And then the detail for that. Okay, so every main idea needs a detail. I think the structure here looks okay. It's following the topic sentence. Let's make sure our next body paragraph is doing that as well. There are many solutions. It's greater parental control over screen time. Okay, so this is our topic sentence. First main idea. Okay, so we're saying it's the parent's responsibility. So it's the parent's job. That's that parental control. After that, so the parents will be creating these rules. Great. Okay. I'll say this almost to me feels more like another main idea. Okay. So I wouldn't be opposed to having another main idea here just to describe the sentence in more detail. However, there are some explanations already kind of given in the sentence too, so I think you can get away without it, but it might be something to consider if you have time to add an extra sentence. I wouldn't be opposed. Then after that, again, we have a second main idea, a few simple rules at home. And then what are some of those rules? Okay, so how about here? These are the rules that they could give. So this is acting like a detail of sorts. Okay, so this is a detail for this main idea about a few simple rules. Okay. Yeah, so again, you could potentially add another detail right here. If you're pressed for time, fine. But in general, you kind of want to have a detail for your main idea. Although I do think you have some points of that main idea explained. Okay, especially in the first part, kind of explaining why it makes more sense for teachers. So you do have it to a degree, but I wouldn't be opposed to another sentence. Lastly, our conclusion. Okay. Our obesity rates. Okay. And then affecting the screen time. Yep. So the conclusion is not the time to add new information. You're just kind of rephrasing what's been said. I think this conclusion can work okay. Again, just making sure that we have, looking at our prompts, multiple problems. We have two problems. We have the obesity and the less activity, and then the solution, parental screen time monitoring. Okay, so I think we're meeting everything for our task. Let's now jump to coherence and cohesion. Just give me one moment. All right, so let's see what's going on with coherence and cohesion. Cohesion in a way that attracts no attention. Skillfully managing our paragraphing. Okay. We've already talked a lot about paragraphing. Okay, so making sure having a topic, sentence, main ideas, and details is going to help with your organization. Making sure that your body paragraphs are in the same order as your thesis statement. So we talk about sedentary lifestyle and obesity here. That means sedentary lifestyle and obesity here. Okay. More parental supervision is the second point. So that'll be our second body paragraph. Making sure you're following ordering like that. So make sure it feels organized. Also making sure that in your body paragraphs, topic, sentences, main ideas, details, the paragraph has a flow to it. In terms of transitions between body paragraphs, so our second body paragraph just mentions well, there are many solutions that can be submitted, and that's fine. Okay, so it's kind of just a general transition. One thing you could also do with the transitions, you can make it a little bit more specific too. Mention the point that you had in the paragraph above it. Okay, so you talk about, for instance, the sedentary lifestyle. You talk about the the obesity. Having a little bit of a transition, just kind of referring back to the sedentary lifestyle and obesity. Okay. So for instance, you could add it even here. So what are many solutions that may be submitted to combat these obesity problems or something like that. Just a quick reference to what's going on before. Not necessarily 100%. It's just something that can kind of tie your paragraphs together more. Something to consider. I still think you can do fine in this essay without it though. It's just something that if you want to consider. Other things you want to look out for. Let's take a look at our signal words. So for instance, we have while showing contrast. Though, meaning again contrast as well. Let's see, because showing relationship means, shows your given definition. Therefore, you're reaching a conclusion. Okay, if showing got conditional happening, potentially. While again showing contrast. Okay. And a word showing our summary. Nice, those are probably the major signal words I see, and I think this is fine. If you really want to, you could probably add a couple more to this paragraph, the second body paragraph. But in general, you've shown that there's good amount here. Other thing that's key for coherence and cohesion is also referencing, so saying an idea and expressing it in a slightly different way, referring back to it, things like pronouns and things. For instance, here we say this trend. What is the trend? The trend, they're likely to be at home. Okay, I like that. Let's see. Same thing, similar idea here. We see this in activity. Okay. So kind of like the sedentary. And here, all this is kind of captured by this inactivity. Okay. We see a few simple rules here, and then we elaborate on those and other measures. Okay, so you do have a little bit of referencing going on. Probably do a little bit more as well if you really wanted to. But in general, I think that this this essay is tied together. Whoa, screen's going crazy. Sorry. All right. So those are kind of the highlights for coherence and cohesion. Oh, sorry, missing one other one here. I just noticed. Maybe that's a separate color. Okay, this simple solution. What is a simple solution? The parents putting limits on screen time. Cool. All right, from there, let's take a look at vocab. Just going to take away my marks really quick. And key things for vocab, I think what you would expect. We want to have a wide range of vocab, advanced vocab, phrasal verbs, collocations, expressions, natural and sophisticated control of them, minor errors. So again, if you're aiming for 8s or 9s, you need to make sure that most of your words are spelled correctly. You also want to make sure that your words are appropriate. It's the right word for the right situation. Those are things that we need. Let's just kind of identify some of the words that I think are helping this essay. Like online streaming. A TV set, in reference to a TV, great. Gawking. Sedentary lifestyle. To reverse. A corresponding decrease, great. Significant contributor. A larger extent. To a larger extent. Blinking. Burning calories, set phrase, great. As is daily basis. Like carbs, short for carbohydrates, and also converts as well, converts to sugar. Screen time, that's a good phrase. Legal guardian. Domain, good. Designated hours, great. Invariably. Okay. Alright, so those are just some of the words that I'm seeing that I think can help push this vocab score higher. I'm not seeing any word that to me looks inappropriate. The spelling overall looks pretty good. So those again are all things that can help with your vocab score. Which leaves us with the last section, grammar, grammatical range and accuracy. For grammar, what are we looking for? Alright, so for grammar, we're looking for wide range of structures, full flexibility, accuracy, rare minor errors. Key thing with the grammar section is that there's not many mistakes. Most of your sentences need to be error-free in terms of grammar, because this is one that's very easy to lose points on if you're not careful. So you want to take your time with the grammar. Let's just kind of look at what kinds of clauses we have. A key thing is make sure you have complex structures. So you need some complex sentences. We'll just kind of highlight some in the first couple of paragraphs. Have revolutionized what? How youngsters spend their free time. Great. Okay. That's one sentence. Complex sentence. Two different clauses. Same with our next one. Well, in the past, they would spend time. Today, they are more likely to be at home. Guess another complex sentence. And the last sentence as well, though it can be reversed with more parental supervision. Okay, so already all these sentences are complex, and that's fine. Don't be afraid of adding a simple sentence, though. Simple sentences are fine. Native speakers use them a lot in writing. It gives your reader a chance to breathe and digest the information better. Not every sentence needs to be complex. Okay, increase. Yes, technically this is not a complex sentence. It just has single subject and verb. Okay. Next we have a clause here. These devices do not require much. Okay, so you have a complex sentence there. So the next one, this activity means, what does it mean? Children are burning enough calories. Great, so complex sentence. Our next one, start with a gerund phrase, because eating. I really like that. So again, you could start a sentence, try starting with a participle, or try starting with a gerund phrase or something like that. Okay. So that's all your dependent clause there, followed by the independent clause. All the food, and then you have an adjective clause that gets ingested, followed by another clause. Okay, so just in that one sentence, 1, 2, 3, 4 different clauses. I wouldn't suggest going much more beyond that. I think 4 is plenty. The more clauses you add, the more potential for confusion you're giving to your reader. There are many solutions. Another complex sentence. There are many solutions that may be submitted. Adjective clause. I think. Now clause subject. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and then you have a clause here. Okay. All of this is really kind of part of the same clause. Children spend the most time at home. Okay. Just regular sentence. Clause. Regular sentence. Next sentence is more of a compound sentence, being joined with the and, leisure habits, and encouraging. Okay, so you're changing leisure habits and encouraging a more active lifestyle. Okay, so you're pretty much just connecting those two ideas, joining them with and that's perfectly fine. Compound sentence. How about this? Use a starting off sentence with tons of gerund phrases, establishing limits, setting designated hours. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So all of this is really one clause followed by this clause here. Great. Next, decrease in exercise. Again, we have an adjective clause describing exercise. This bold. Exercise will contribute to higher obesity rates. So notice that's your actual sentence. Let me undo that really quick. So let's underline this. Right, now underline. Okay, so expressive screen time and decrease in exercises will invariably contribute.
So your subject's all the way up here, your object's down here. Good. Effort to put reasonable limits. Okay, so this is a simple sentence. And the next sentence is a simple one as well. Okay, so those are some of the grammar things I think they'll be looking out for, but even in sentences where we had 3 or 4 different clauses, all the grammar is looking pretty good to me right now.
That concludes our time looking at this essay. Be sure to continue looking at our other videos for essays and also our main focus, pronunciation. If you speak languages like Spanish, Italian, Arabic, Russian, or many others, including Chinese, be sure to look at our playlists where we have sounds just for speakers of those languages. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for your time. Also be sure to check out our social pages and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in our next video. Take care.